Hi, YouTube.
Oh, that's
How's it going?
disgusting.
Hope you're doing well. If you haven't yet, there's this little button down beneath the video. It says subscribe. You should click it. There's also another button right next to that. It's the bell icon. You should click that so you can get all of our notifications when we upload, because we upload how many days a week, Anderson?
6.
That's right. 6 days a week.
That's
And then
one
on
less
top
than
of
7.
and one more than 5.
What?
Holy shit.
Yes, basic math. Just lost half of America with that one.
True. But as always, let us know what you think of today's topic down below. We're going to jump into that in a moment. Samuel,
Yes.
please tell the people what we're talking about.
Well, the people. Today, give Streamlabs a second to stop freaking out.
It's always freaking out, let's be honest.
Okay. It didn't freak it out at all yesterday. Yesterday was great. So I'm trying to keep that high going. Anyway.
What we're talking about is trying to censor us.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is the government?
Discourse making the chat gay.
Government, you in there? Anyway, today.
And that's how we got demonetized for this one. Thanks, guys. We're going to catch y'all on the next one.
Yep.
Oh, goodness.
So anyway, today we were talking about what the hell is going on with the Olympics.
Or
Nothing
what
good.
was going on because it's over now. But
I mean, thank God, kind of, to be honest. But
Yeah, because it was kind of a shit show.
like, there's what? Huh? What? That's really the best way to sum it up is what? But we're gonna go a little bit more into detail about that. I want to start off by saying, what the fuck? And I know we're not supposed to cuss on YouTube, but what the fuck is fast walking? I think it's...
Side note, I just want to say this. They know it makes me cringe every time they do.
Yep. But there's no better way to say that.
Cringe a lot. Son of a...
Well, it's just, it's more work that Joe has to do.
That's exactly.
And I love it.
Yeah. But all right, so there is an actual sport where you just walk as fast as you can, but don't run. Don't run. If you run, that's bad. But walk as fast as you can. Now so it was like a 50-kilometer walk. That's a long walk. Don't get me wrong. That's impressive. But the way they do it is they have this stupid little, like,
Yeah, the little gate with
and
the whips.
we all know it. People back in Lynchburg know at River Ridge Mall, right first thing when they're opening, walking around, just strutting their stuff.
And everybody in Florida.
Stop at Walmart that early. They do it there too.
At
and everybody
Walmart,
in Florida
that's
with the suburbs.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the moms out there just doing it.
Yep, they're just sitting there strutting their stuff. They're leg warmers and 60-year-old women named Karen.
Yep.
Just going
and
at
every
it.
other person just looking out the windows like, the fuck are they doing?
And
They
apparently,
not have anything better to do.
I want to know the conversation that happened with the Olympic Committee to get that sport on there.
I want to be in that board meeting.
Because I could just imagine a Karen, stupid short
Just
reserve
going off.
bob, like reverse bob, just going off.
And just saying, it's a real sport. And everybody else in there is just like, can we just give it to her so she can shut up? It's like, I really want to go home.
You all right, Joe? You're about to defend it, aren't
you?
You're about to defend it, aren't you?
No, not
Okay,
at all.
all right,
I hope
That's
not.
stupid. I think it's asinine, bro.
It's not
Yeah.
even a sport. It's walking.
So
Like, yes, that is a basic human feature that we all have to do. I mean, not to be disrespectful to anyone or anything, but it's walking.
I mean, it's true.
Eh.
So my question is, because I didn't catch that. Hearing it, it's absolutely stupid. But was it like a multi-stop like do tasks at each one? Because they have something during the Winter Olympics where it's cross country skiing, where like they have to skate at certain stops and like marksmanship and the whole 9 yards. Like,
so that's a biathlon.
Yeah.
That's something a little bit different. So that I get. Like with those though, it's typically like you run or even like walking that far. I kind of get like, and then picking up a gun and trying to shoot very accurately. That makes a little bit more sense, right? Totally get that.
Well, yeah, because there's multiple aspects and ratios to it.
Fucker. Hang on. My Streamlabs just closed. Computer's fine. Just Streamlabs just closed.
I played up those bagel bites.
Oh, let me see what I got over here.
All right, y'all do that.
I don't know what the title was. So we're just gonna.
Am I going to redo the intro and everything, or cut this out later?
Probably just cut it out. All right. Let's see. Are we back up? I think we're back up. We are back up. If somebody in chat could say, hey, you're back up. I don't know what is happening. Hello. Okay. I'll take a hello. You are back up. Sweet. Anyway, my Streamlabs is just, it just closed. It was just like, no, I'm not doing it today. So we'll try this again. We were talking about the fast walking. Oh, and then you were asking about like the one where they like ski and then shoot in the winter one.
Yes.
So
yes.
So that is called I think it's called a biathlon or something like that. And so that makes a bit more sense because they have to like start, they have to walk a decent amount and then they have to shoot very accurately.
Mm-hmm.
This one is literally like a 1 kilometer circle and they just walk around it forever and ever and ever and ever until they're done. And get this though, there is a scandal because like the #1 seed for fast walking, which if anybody ever calls me that, I just off me, just
honestly
put me out of my misery, right? But the #1 seed for fast walking, apparently there was a scandal to where they thought he was on steroids, and so they tested this man for steroids. He didn't have any steroids. And he crushed the competition. And I'm just sitting there like, I'm sorry. You can take steroids for walking. Everybody there looks emaciated, by the way. Like they just look like they need a sandwich the entire time.
Can I just say I appreciate how passionately
I hate this. Yes, dude. We were talking about this at work. We had the Olympic Channel on all day, like all day, every day for the last however long it's been at work. I'd look and be like, oh, that's cool. And then this and one other sport that we'll get to in a moment pop up, and we're just sitting there like, what the actual? You're welcome.
I completely justify Sam in his hate of this sport because I don't even care about the Olympics usually that much. I usually watch more of the Winter Olympics. But when I saw this, because I saw it when I was like various places, and I just saw this event pop up, I was just like, what in the actual, like, no. And they were talking, even the commentators were talking about, oh, yes, they have the form complete, they're down pat. And I was just like, what form?
It's walking. This one. It's the jiggle. It's the jiggle.
I know it's the jiggle, but at the same time, just like, it's walking. It's just these people are just making it a sport and making it look dumber.
And the rules are you have to have at least 1 foot on the ground at all times. Like if there's ever a point where both feet are up in the air, like, if you're like actually running, you might not have a foot on for a second.
I saw that and I was like, what kind of rule is that? They're walking. Of course they're going to have a foot on the ground.
And they had judges going around on mopeds, like just staring at people's feet the whole time.
Yeah, like mall security guards, Paul Blart style, just looking at their feet. And I was just like, damn, someone should get Dan Snyder out here.
Could you just imagine it, like, if that happened and then, like, you just see him with a fucking whistle, just, and I'm like, you jumped, both feet are off the ground, you're running.
I just sat there, watched that, and was like, this is the pinnacle of human athleticism.
Let's see. Nancy Luke, what's good, dude?
I fucking hate the world.
I hate that sport. I don't, like, why is it a sport? Can anybody in the chat realistically justify fast walking as an Olympic sport?
And if you actually do, I'm gonna say you're an idiot.
I didn't watch this event, but I'm just picturing in my head like the commentators going, all right, and we see Jeremy Spank Stevenson is currently in first place, but hot on his heels, second place. Here comes Jimmy Dude Buffett. Oh, he's gonna make the pass.
Yeah.
And he made the pass.
Hey, Sam, was there a male and female division for this sport as well?
So, and I mean absolutely no offense to this, but so we were watching it, we weren't sure which one was on.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's that bad.
Yeah.
You got the Karens out there, you got the soy boys. It's just it's just a free for all, I guess.
What I understand this to be is if you fast walk like that, you evolve into a new version of I don't even want to call it human, of life that is just like perfectly suited for this.
You're certainly not transcending. I would say you're doing evolution of very much harm.
What was that Netflix movie where the scientist was trying to like take the soldiers and like the basically the elite humans and turn them into like perfect specimens to live on the moon Titan? You ever seen that movie?
No.
It's like a sci-fi movie, but that's kind of what it reminds me of. It was like, I'm just picturing these coaches like, you must wax every inch of your body, no wind resistance, none, no hair on a single piece of your body, no, be bald, you be bald and you be bald, I don't care, man or woman, bald, you know wind resistance, now walk. Like
just straight up baby oil your thighs. Now you must have pure aloe vera grade, pure lubricant, baby oil between your thighs to reduce friction.
They got a bar of Chris Coben and like in their pocket. They're oiling that shit up as they're walking.
Just got a stick of lard between the thighs.
So I've got a really funny story here. So we're sitting there at work watching it, right? We're like, and we're just all making fun of it. Like there's probably 7 or 8 of us just gathered around the TV, just like exchanging jokes, exactly like what we're doing right now. And they come up to the station where they're getting water, right? And so like, and of course I get it, you got to hydrate. I wouldn't want to walk 50 kilometers and not have a single drop of water the entire time. I get that.
I mean, yeah, obviously.
So they get it. And so like, you know, they're walking up to the edge, they, you know, and like they're of course, you know, doing their perfect thing, but then like their eyes are just focused or like right on that water, right? And they're just sitting there.
Oh my god.
And then they go and then they grab it. And then they're like just ready to go, right? And then they like drink it like at a perfect time. Then there's one guy goes focused, totally ready to go. Grabs it, splashes it on his dick straight away. And that's how we knew it was the men's fast walking race.
At that point,
because that shit like, was slinging, dude.
At that point, you're just like, you really ain't got much hope for your life, do you, my man?
It was just ding dong, ding dong.
Shit's looking like a turkey neck, just wobbling.
Oh my god, shit looking like a Christmas, looking like a church bell on Christmas morning. Ding dong, ding dong.
And it was the most
snuggling a snake.
Awkward thing because there are customers in the store. And we're just like, there's 7 or 8 of us just sitting there. And we start rolling laughing when we see this.
The single thought going through everyone's head at that point was like, how is this motherfucker that's out here fast walking, packing that much meat?
He pulled a Derek Lewis what he did. He got up there and they probably asking him the post-race interview. So we noticed you dumped water on your crotch. Why? My balls was hot.
The stubble was causing some heat.
Oh man, do you understand the word chafe?
Oh god.
Oh, could you imagine though? Oh, could you imagine?
The chafe would be real.
They would be sponsored by Manscaped.
Fuck that.
They better be, at
sponsored by
least.
Vaseline. They need to be sponsored by Vaseline or some shit.
I thought you were about to say Vagisil, and I was about to laugh my ass off.
They probably need that too.
Oh no! Oh no, sir.
All right. So that concludes my 25-minute rant of fast walking in the Olympics.
It's warranted.
It's
that's not a sport.
Dumbest in there, like out there, right? And only followed closely second by horse dancing.
Oh my god.
By
Please explain this as well.
So I don't really know, to be honest, how it works. Like, I'm assuming there's like a form and like, you know, like how well the horse can stay on beat. I don't know. But
it shouldn't
all
be
it
an
is,
Olympic sport. It should be like a fucking animal contest or something, not in the Olympics.
it's like figure skating for horses. But
These are all horses that couldn't make it in the Kentucky Derby. Like, instead of neigh, we're gonna be neigh.
a dignified, classy neigh.
So is there a jockey riding the horse, or is
Yep.
this just a horse like breakdancing?
Nope. There is a jockey riding it, controlling it. I'm assuming it, telling it when to lift up paws at or hooves at certain points. I honestly don't know how it works.
I hate anything like horse racing or horse related anyway. But
Yeah.
this one came on screen, and I was just like, these are literally the dropouts of like jockeys just doing this shit. And I was like, and they're dumb enough as it is.
I remember seeing this clip. So Nanosuit Luke is in chat, and it
What
was
up, homie?
and I think it was a clip. I think it was like Kevin Hart and Snoop Dogg like reacting to clips,
Oh God.
and it was a clip of the horse dancing, and Snoop Dogg said, "That horse crip walking, I gotta get him in a music video." It was the funniest shit.
Oh no. That's amazing. That is amazing.
And I just like I've seen clips of it rolling around, but like apparently like the US horse rider decided to pick like some song, I can't remember
I hope it was
what
WAP.
it was. No, I mean, it wasn't anything that bad. If anybody in chat could remind me, but it
Just
was
had the horse fucking twerking.
it was like almost a meme song. And we got a bit of a paragraph here from Kate, so let me
Oh boy.
let me read that. So she says, okay, so climbs on the soapbox. Equestrian should absolutely be an Olympic sport. However, it should be actual skills like barrel racing, pole bending, etc. What they chose to display was not part of what us actual horse people do. Climbs off soapbox. And I kind of get that.
We don't disagree.
Yeah.
No, I disagree. I don't think equestrian should be in the Olympics. I think it should be its own separate contest, like dog shows and all those things like that. I think it should be like that. I don't think it should be Olympics where we're trying to show human athleticism.
But have you ever tried to go full speed on a horse before?
No, because I fucking hate horses and I hate everything that revolves around them.
You have to understand that the absolute level of athleticism a jockey has to have to go full speed on a horse in a race. Yes,
Cool.
without a
Good for the
doubt, that's
jockey.
athletics.
But the horse is doing the work, not the human.
Not all the work.
It's doing a fair bit of it because it's the one running.
That jockey's got to make sure that horse knows where to go.
And stay on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Like-
They can grade that in another contest. They can grade that in the horse and human contest or whatever the crap they call it.
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be in the world-renowned international event of the Olympics where we're showcasing human athleticism and only human athleticism.
And I kind of get that point. I mean, you know, I'd rather see, though, barrel racing and pole bending than stupid dances. You know? Like that. I mean, that's.
I mean, true. If we saw that, I mean, I wouldn't have as much of a problem with it. I mean, I still would personally, but at least then we're showing some actual, like, them doing directions and stuff like that, not just a horse twerking on stage.
A horse twerking on stage. That's amazing.
That's all it looked like to me.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like, that was, but holy blind light. Where is it? But not that one. Where is it? There it is.
Honestly. Bruh, stop.
I'm just shifting my like page back and forth.
I know, and we can see it and it hurts.
You should do that like right before you're about to make a point. Like, you know, like right at like the punchline. Well, no, like I mean just like once. Like because like the way it like shifts across your glasses makes it look
He's
like
gonna get like the anime style, like
and I said, bitch. No, I see. I could get down with like horse racing, or like barrel racing or things like that. But horse dancing, like, it's not like what they were needing to add events to the Olympics here. Like they didn't need.
It was already long enough.
Yeah, like, and like they were just talking in the last Olympics, the last Summer Olympics, they were having a problem with housing everybody. It's like, so you want to bring more people?
And they don't house the athletes very well either. They're really in shit conditions.
You know what? Let's get into that real quick.
Wait. Before that, I would just like to say my point on not including anything like horse related into the Olympics. We have dog shows, and those people train their dogs. They run with their dogs and everything like that. But you don't see them in the Olympics. Why should?
But they're not riding their dogs.
They're running straight with them, so they're still putting in the work. They still got to do the obedience and everything like that.
I'd have to agree to disagree on that one. I would. Yes, they're running, but like they're not really running. They're just guiding the dog along. Like a jockey is literally strapped to that horse, and one wrong move spells disaster for not just them, but anybody behind them. Like,
it's they still even the dog trainers and the horse trainers, they still got to put in that time and work for that effort to like for obedience and teaching that animal to do certain things and certain steps. Why is it different?
And Kate extrapolated saying trying to get a horse to run around barrels is like riding a motorcycle. You have to use your body just the right way. There's a lot more to it. Just to add on.
I mean, I guess if y'all want it in there, I just don't consider that like a showmanship of human athleticism. I mean, maybe a combination of human and animal, but if I thought, for me, I always was taught the Olympics was to show the best of humanity and the athletes of humanity. I wasn't there to watch a fucking horse. If I wanted to watch a fucking horse, I'd go to the Kentucky Derby.
I mean, do you count jockeys as athletes?
I count them as trainers. I don't necessarily count them as athletes.
There's a strong difference. There's a strong difference between a trainer and a jockey.
Okay, if you would let me finish my point, I would explain it. So I don't consider them I don't consider them athletes. I consider them trainers of the horse. They may be athletes in their own right, but that's more of me not knowing what exactly goes into them being a jockey, because I don't want to deal with that, and I don't want to, go into that world considering all the background with it.
I mean, the only thing I could say to that in retort would be, just because you don't want to doesn't mean it can't be. Like, I don't want to watch very hungry, near like starved individuals walking around a track. But if they deem it as their athletes, like, we're there. Clearly they did. Like, jockeys, like I've known a couple. Like, I can't say I know thorough enough, but I've known enough to say that being a jockey is not just as simple as pop up and ride. Like, Kate said it best. It's like riding a motorcycle. You got to know what you're doing if you want to survive and actually be able to do what you're attempting to do. Like, there are trainers and there are jockeys, and yes, jockeys do help train, but their primary function is to ride and control that horse to make sure that a horse does what they need it to do. And at the same time, the athleticism for them to do that, because you're controlling a beast. Like, you're controlling this massive animal, and the only thing you can do is hold on and control it from where you're at, which does take training, yes, but you're controlling it from on it. Like, you better hope you have control at that point. Like, I 100% think jockeys are athletes.
Okay, they may be athletes and stuff like that, but it all comes back to it's still not. I mean, they're doing work, they're doing some work, but it's still an animal doing other work with them. It's a collaboration. It's not just human.
Well, let's think of it this way. What if they were to put like MotoGP in the Olympics?
Like race cars and stuff like that.
This is specifically motorcycles, like the really fast, like
I'd be all for it.
Cornering around corners and stuff
For
like
the
that.
Olympics, I would not be for it because once again, I mean the humans controlling and everything,
yeah.
but once again, you got motors and wheels and mechanics doing all the groundwork.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you got to control, you got to be an athlete to control and keep it in place, but it's not purely human. And that's why I always thought the Olympics it was purely human abilities.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I just wanted to see if, kind of get the group think on that. But no,
I mean, it'd be dope to have a motorcycle race in the fucking Olympics. I'd fully watch it, but at the same time, I wouldn't really consider it like all human or like actual Olympics. The things I consider Olympics is like the jumps, the dash, the around the track, the mile sprint, and stuff like that. I consider that, and like gymnastics and all that, because that's purely human. That's our muscles doing the work, our brains telling our muscles to do what we got to do, and them training their bodies to be able to do it. It's not them training a horse to be able to do it with them, or them training, fixing or tuning a bike to do it with them. It's purely them. It purely shows off humanity's best.
And you know what else was controversial that I don't really get was this was the first year skateboarding was in the Olympics, and some people were wholly against that.
Why?
And I'm like, no, these guys are athletes. Like
it's
girls.
completely human ability. I mean, yeah, they're using a skateboard and stuff, but it's not like the skateboard
they're literally pushing the skateboard. Like it just happens to be a conduit. Yeah.
It's all motion, gravity, and like acceleration. They're doing all the work. They're just controlling it, and regardless if they have a set of wheels under them.
Yeah,
it's just they're fully athletes. I mean, look at Tony Hawk and look how many times he's been hurt and stuff like that, just trying to do everything. Like, I'm completely for it, and I'm completely for it being in the next. What's the major thing for skateboarding? The BMX tournaments or something like that.
Are you talking like X Games and stuff?
Yeah, X Games. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm completely for it being in X Games and the Olympics because, they're complete athletes. Now, if they did dirt bikes, once again, I come back to the same argument for motorcycles.
Yeah. No, and I get that. And that totally makes sense. Yeah, I see where you're coming from on that. So, like, it's not so much saying that they're not an athlete. It's just that they're not doing 100% of the work. So,
right, exactly. I'll take, if I meant it anyway, I apologize to anyone if they think I said that jockeys or people that ride motorcycles aren't athletes. Did you spill water?
No, it's fortunately mostly empty. So like I just happened to knock it over.
Okay, nice. But yeah, I apologize if anyone thinks I said that they're not athletes. I don't know enough about jockeys to classify them as athletes or motorcycle riders, like professional ones, to classify them as athletes. They may be, they may not. I don't know. My ignorance on the subject.
Yeah. It's all good. But anyway, we did briefly touch on living conditions, and I think we should hop into that real quick.
Oh yeah.
This was interesting this year. And I get, Japan's a little different.
A little?
I'm trying to be nice.
Okay.
But they gave them cardboard beds.
Specifically so they wouldn't have sex.
And I feel like that's half the fun of the Olympics, though. That should be an Olympic sport.
I feel like that's not their place to tell them when and not they should have sex.
I mean,
as long as it's consensual.
Yeah.
Well, and completely legal.
I remember, wasn't it like the last one? Like they basically had like literal buckets of condoms or something like that.
Yeah. They were handing out condoms to everyone.
Yep.
It was hilarious.
And we know that this is a worldwide event, and we know that some of y'all been eyeballing some other countries. Here,
we know y'all been seeing them Asian girls and like, god damn.
Those Swedish ladies.
Hey, yo, get you a tall Dutch girl, then go across the hotel rooms, get you the Asian girl, then go down the hall, get you an Egyptian girl. Hey, I mean, spice of life.
But I'm gonna say this. Like the fact that they went that far to do that, like. the thing is this is like the fact that the living conditions were like that, because a lot of Olympians were saying like this is bullshit. Like
They were saying that in the last Olympics too.
Yeah, it was not comfortable living conditions by any means. They did not have nearly the space that they should have had. It was basically like being at 4-H camp, except you're uncomfortably close to the person you're sitting next to. Like,
God, 4-H.
Yeah, and I mean, like all for the sole fact of making sure no one's banging. Like, where there's a will, there's a way. I mean,
bro, if you're gonna give me a cardboard bed and be like, yeah, you can't bang, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go outside.
I'm gonna use the floor.
Use the fuck. I see people banging fucking. What is it? Those public porta potties. I see people do it there. So it's like where there's a will, there's a way. People will bang wherever they want to bang.
Those
you can't
restrict be getting wild out there.
I will never be that horny.
No,
never, ever,
never,
never, ever.
Welcome.
If I'm that horny, I'm going to go take a nap.
How horny Sam is.
You say the scenario, and I'll tell you if I'm horny for it or not.
Bro, if you're that horny, I think you need to go to a doctor. Doctor, I wanted to fuck in a shit pod. Yeah, we're gonna give you some hormone inhibitors.
Doc, I looked at the doorbell and I got hard. Like,
yeah,
what do I do?
Doctor's gonna be like, well, first we're gonna send you to therapy because something's deeply fucked up.
Second,
like, I don't need a med.
Looking at, I'm gonna write these down real quick.
I don't need a med degree to tell you that that's not okay.
No, it just blows my mind. Like I said, that they would do that because I understand like each country is going to have their own unique thing, but like
it's a life.
Yeah, like do you think that just because you implement cardboard beds means that these able-bodied, athletic, human elites?
I mean, we're talking like apex predators of like the human, except for the fast walking people. Fuck them. But
yeah, like Japan. You know what Pornhub is. You've seen what's on there. You really think cardboard's gonna stop them from fucking?
There's literally porn out there of random Olympic events with like a dude laying there hard and this woman springboarding off and doing a front flip and landing on his dick. Like, you think that these Olympians aren't going to actually try stupid stuff? Like, I don't think you could bet it, but
you could bet if I was in that kind of shape, I'd be trying stupid stuff.
Well, you know,
like, how far could I take this?
Well, to add to that, so it's beyond the fact that there's cardboard beds. This is literally the hardest event to ever try to do anything else but compete in your sport, because what they had all the Olympians do is, I think it was something like 8 days before their event, they would fly in, quarantine for 3 of them, train for like 2 or 3, do their event, and then they have 48 hours to get out of the country.
Yeah,
they can't stick around.
Straight up, like they had to get drug tested every day.
And so, like, it's like, when do you have the time? I mean, I'm sure, you know, where there's a will, there's a way, but still, like, you know.
I mean, realistically, it's horny time. Like,
I mean, sex is a great physical activity, so realistically,
yeah. I mean, but they don't have the same, like, you know, 3-4 week period that they've had before to kind of, you know, like, they'll go do their training and then have the night to do whatever, you know, like, it's like,
which is honestly a disservice to them, because these people, men and women, have trained like decades or even like longer for this to get this opportunity, and they're just like, yeah, you're getting a cardboard box, you only get like 8 days here and you got to be out of the country within 24 hours. Like, what the fuck?
Basically what we're saying is, come to the Olympics here in the US, we'll supply you condoms and sex toys. Like,
this Olympics is,
if you need it.
This Olympics is sponsored by Adam and Eve.
Yeah. Would you imagine,
bro?
I would straight up watch that whole event.
I'm gonna tell you right now, though, if that were the case, you'd see every event have world record breaking numbers.
Oh, like, 100%.
Like, I'm talking, these athletes would be like, yeah, I'll clear this in 5 seconds. What it took to do like a minute? Oh, I got it. Don't worry. Like,
it's like, oh yeah, I got it completely. As long as you give me that sponsored dildo after this, because I'm gonna need some limbering up.
It makes so much sense for Michael Phelps now.
Yep.
Speaking of, I know we've been talking about, you know, sex and everything, but speaking of Michael Phelps, there was another thing that there was some controversy with him over. That there was another controversy this time around with, I think, a track runner where, like, basically
Sha'Carri Robinson.
Yeah, Sha'Carri Robinson smoked a little weed.
Sha'Carri Richardson, sorry.
Richardson. Okay. Smoked a little weed. Who the fuck cares?
Yeah, no. Whoever like came down on that for that was bullshit. They smoked a little weed. Who cares? And the U.S. is pretty much legal almost everywhere now. So
except for Texas.
Calm down. Y'all get with it eventually. I'm surprised the Commonwealth legalized it before y'all.
Honestly.
But here's the thing of it all. And this is where I'm gonna get real fast. We had two major Olympians who one was disqualified and the other stepped away due to mental reasons. Sha'Carri Richardson smoked because her nerves were getting the best of her because she had some major life-changing shit happen right before the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not going to make this ultra political because it doesn't need to be. I'm not going to try and go down any rabbit trail of any kind of newsworthy event. It doesn't need that. It boils down to this. We cannot, as a society, as human beings, we cannot pick and choose when we enforce these damn rules.
Absolutely.
100%.
In the Olympics, every single person needs to be held to the exact same standard of accountability. And everybody knows Michael Phelps was higher than.
Oh, he was high as a fucking cat. Mm.
Damn, Cat, what you doing up there?
But fire department ain't gonna help you now, bitch.
He was higher than giraffe dick, and nobody came down on him.
I feel like you could have used any other analogy than giraffe dick, but all right.
I name a taller animal.
I mean, I can't, but
although
at the same time, their dick isn't as tall as their head.
Here's the question, though. So I know a giraffe is tall, but most of that's the neck. So their dick is really only probably about 4 feet off the ground. You consider an elephant can sometimes be even bigger than that. Which one's got the?
But where would the dick lay? That's the question.
Yeah, that's the Olympics we need next year.
Animal dick sizing competition.
Okay, he was higher than astronaut dick. How about that? Is that better?
Why is it always the dick though? That's the question. You could just say he's higher than the astronaut. All right, I get the reference, but you always put in the dick.
Sometimes it's just about the dick. No.
Oh my god.
But no, like, so he was high as gas, and we're gonna sit here and let him just walk away. You're missing the point. We're gonna let him walk away with this. He's the most decorated Olympian of all time. We're just letting him just, hey, you know what? He earned his keep. Let him smoke his marijuanas. But the one time a woman who had no history of this goes through a very tough mental time and smokes once, not twice,
just once,
not thrice, once.
And then
we're gonna be like, nah, suspend her. She's done. Get her out of here. Next Olympics, get her out of here now. Huh?
Yeah, that whole fiasco just made me realize, wow, we got a bunch of Roger Goodells in the Olympics team. Like,
basically,
they had marketing. I was like, Jesus.
And the sad part is, like, and this is where I'm trying to say, like, we can't make it political because we could look at all of the absolute specifics here. We could look at, okay, Michael Phelps, man, Sha'Carri Richardson, woman. Well, yeah, there's that factor.
Michael Phelps,
we'll go this
white.
far.
Woman,
Michael Phelps,
black.
white. Yeah, Sha'Carri's black. Like,
we could
sure
get into all that.
Fight about that one. It just simply boils down to the fact that you can't pick and choose when you're going to inflict these specific rules. If this is a rule that's been in effect this entire time, then Michael Phelps should have immediately had to surrender some of, if not most of, if not all of his medals from that Olympics.
Yeah, he should have been pretty much dishonorably discharged.
Correct. Same concept. If we're going to ban her from this Olympics, then he needs to surrender those medals. I don't care if that man can swim faster than Aquaman himself. Surrender the medals.
And
because
also,
he broke the rules.
I would also like to ask, like, what qualified, like, what went through their mind process that weed is a performance enhancing or even reducing drug? Like, where's the science for that? I want to see the science behind it. Because, I mean, obviously the United States is recognized. We legalized it. Why is that such a problem?
Yeah.
Like, it's not steroids. It's not fucking meth or heroin where you just becoming a Florida man or Florida woman in her case. No, it's weed.
Yeah.
It's literally there just to help you relax. What makes that so important that it disqualified her?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to know. I want to know the science behind that decision and like resulting impact.
And Nannersuit Luke in chat kind of pitched in and saying, as long as you aren't high during, because you are held to a certain standard, just like a job. If you're allowed to cool off,
stage.
I mean, yeah, you're allowed to cool off. This is a job for them, and like you said, all should be accounted for. So yeah, like as long as even like I would be impressed if they were high as shit and like ran a 400 meter, and, like impressed. Like I'm sorry, like, if anything, that is not a performance enhancing drug, right?
Like if anything, you're above the performance because you're performing that while you're inebriated.
Yeah,
it's like if I went into work drunk,
motherfucker, do this sober.
Yeah. Can we start a petition now to start like a drunk/high Olympics?
Ooh, the 420 Olympics. Let's
go. The 420 Olympics. Yep.
So what you're saying is, you want to? What was the movie? Beer Fest, but you want to do a weed fest instead?
Yes.
Or all of the above.
Weed Olympics?
Let's just do both. They're the follow-up events to the original Olympics.
But no, but
the athletes wind down and just fucking party.
But I'm talking like not just like drinking games. I'm talking like actually do Olympic sports, not fast walking, but be drunk or high the entire time. I think that'd be funny.
If
that'd be hilarious.
Richardson, if she was destroying the competition while high as gas like that,
I'd be laughing my ass off.
Fucking unit. She is without a doubt the baddest woman on the planet. Because
if she did all that, I'd be putting a poster of her right in my office. Be like, yeah, that's who I aspire to be right there.
I aspire to be you.
I want to be fucked up and still clowning every motherfucker out there.
Seriously though, like,
yeah.
So I was just thinking about this too. Something that really bothered me with that thing was Michael Phelps never actually like apologized for him doing it. He just did it and was like, whatever, bitches. I'm the most decorated Olympian in the world, motherfucker.
He literally came out and said, what are you going to do about it? I'm Michael Phelps.
She actually came out, fessed up to it, explained why she did it. She was honorable in how she approached it. And they still were like, nope. What? Like,
yeah, she literally handled it the best way and the most honorable way that someone could in that situation and still got crucified.
Yeah.
But this is also where I'm going to segue us into something else real quick. And that is the other Olympian who backed out due to mental stress. And that is Simone Biles.
Yeah, that was a huge one.
I'm just going to say this, and everybody out there in chat, listen and listen well. And anybody who watched this VOD later, listen and listen well. And understand that you are not going to get me off of this platform. I'm going to die on this hill. And if I die on this hill, I'll die happily. You motherfuckers out there who are making jokes, who are taking it so lightly that they were going through extreme mental stress, on top of the fact of trying to be the best literal human beings on the planet, physically and mentally, they were going through struggles like that. And all you motherfuckers out there wanted to make jokes and shit saying, oh no, they can handle it. That it's nothing. You can literally take those words, shove them so far up your ass that you choke on them, shit them out later, and then sit in it. Because nobody, and I mean nobody, has the right to bring down those women, first and foremost, because they are the most elite women on the face of the fucking planet. And the fact that they want to make jokes at their mental expense, Simone Biles literally came out and said, I can't do this. Like, she was on the international fucking stage. She came out and said, I cannot mentally take this. I can't.
Which is completely fine.
I respect that. fully.
I respect someone having to admit that they can't do it and backing down than someone that puts himself through more harm just trying to do it.
It was like, I can't remember her name. There was another Olympian who was like 20 years ago was going through the exact same shit. She fucked up her routine and blew her fucking leg out.
Yep.
Like,
if your head's not in it, it's just not in it. Don't try and force it.
Rusty's is in the chat saying mental health just as important as physical health, which is extremely true. I mean, back in May we had the whole
to be a good human being. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, we had the whole mental health awareness because like everybody deals with this. It doesn't matter if you're the top level Olympian or just these three schmucks that you see here on the screen.
No, it's called being human and being a fucking adult.
Exactly right.
And so like I don't get why they got so much hate, because the people that were saying those jokes were going through their own shit too.
Yeah, I didn't catch any of the jokes or anything. I heard about her stepping down, but I didn't catch any of the jokes. But anyone that makes jokes out of that, like, I would like to see you go through the same shit and then get up on that stage and try and outdo her.
Well, beyond the jokes, I saw a tremendous amount of hate saying that, she's unpatriotic, that's treason, that's like she's giving up on her country. Like, do you know how many medals she's won like doing this? Like, it's ridiculous.
She literally blew away the fucking competition.
Yeah.
4 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but giving up on our country. Do you say the same thing for soldiers that go through PTSD and have to be taken back shoreside? The fuck is your problem?
Fair point. Very fair point. Rusty's also saying she also gets judged harder than anybody else competing because of like how much of a bamf she is.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, taking it back to the person we just talked about, that was the same thing with Michael Phelps. Like, Michael Phelps didn't go through the mental stress, but look at the pedestal that not just the US, but the world put him on before he went into his events. Like, everybody else is just fighting for second at that point. Everybody expected him to go in and win every event he was in, every single event.
And this dude ain't a spring chicken. He's up there in age.
Yeah, there was one event I remember he was in that was like it was the 4-legged race. I think it's like a 400 meter or something like that, or 800 meter, where it was him and 3 other teammates on the US team, and everybody wanted him to race last. Everybody wanted him to blow the record out the water and race last, and he went second, and people lost their fucking minds. Oh my God, people lost their minds. They're like, why are we letting the most decorated Olympian go second? He should be the one to bring home the gold. He should be the one to bring this flag home.
But to that point, I just got to look at those people and be like, are you the coach? Are you the team behind the scenes? Just stay out of their fucking lane.
Like,
let them do their jobs.
You control any fucking thing you want. But the one thing you don't touch is the fucking Olympics, because everybody in the Olympics is selected based on them being the top of the top of the top in their country. These are the most elite motherfuckers on the planet.
Except for the fast walkers. Fuck you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But these individuals have surpassed every human barrier to reach new physical heights. You sitting at home on your couch watching the fucking Olympics while you got Cheeto dust on your fucking chest have no fucking right to say anything about the Olympics. All you do is you need to sit there and cheer for your fucking country. That's it.
The only thing you should be watching the Olympics for is your nation's pride and to cheer on your nation's competitors. That is it.
Yeah,
the rest, leave it up to them, because it's their fucking job. It's their fucking right to be there. They have every fucking right to be there. And that is the end story. You should just be cheering them on and hoping they come out with the best victory possible. And if not, you still cheer them on because they went and served your country on the international stage against those other countries and proved the fucking point.
Say it louder for the people in the back.
Preach.
God, I hate people that just sit there and fucking Twitter warriors is what they are.
It's true. It's true. We're heated right now, boy.
Yep.
Woo! But wrapping it back here for a second,
because we actually have pride in our country. Yeah, we're heated.
Yeah, but like, bringing it back. So I have the utmost respect for Simone and Sha'Carri for the fact that Sha'Carri handled her situation with grace, with dignity.
To those two women, I take my hat off.
Yeah. Look at that fresh ass cut, boy.
I think this is a first for a reveal.
It is.
By the way, let me change the title real quick. #Anderson reveal. Like,
Yeah,
right?
change the title, then I put the hat back on.
Everybody comes in. What happened? You missed the
You
pitch.
got debated. You got debated.
But debated.
Shikari handled it with dignity and grace and honor and respect, and Simone handled her situation with the exact same mentality. Because Shikari handled this knowing she needed to have respect for her country and herself. Simone did this realizing she needed to have respect solely for herself.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Because if she had gone in with the struggles she was having and tried to perform at such an elite level that she did in the previous Olympics, we would have very easily lost an Olympian.
Yes.
This year.
And she could have very easily. I mean, if she went in the current state that she was in, she would do a dishonor to herself or dishonor to her country, and she could have possibly ended up irrevocably hurt.
Yeah.
Because her head wasn't in it. And when you're competing in sports, for all you people out there that have never done such a thing, your head has to be in it as much as a mental game as it is a physical game.
Exactly right.
Absolutely. Well, I think that's a great place to leave it, honestly. I mean, like, I don't think there's really too much else to talk about unless you guys have something. But
I mean, I just simply have the medal count here for the top 5 countries. Who is this?
Oh, also, when we're discussing medals and stuff like that for countries and everything like that, it's all right to be patriotic and rep your own country and stuff like that, but don't diminish the other earnings of the other countries. Don't bring in their political backgrounds or their current state of government. That's not needed here. All those countries have their own athletes. We have our own athletes. We cheer for our country, but we acknowledge that the other countries have athletes and they beat us at this game, and we come back in 4 years and try again.
Yep. Just real quick here, just a final medal count for those of you who don't know out there. So the United States took home 113 total medals, followed by China with 88, followed by the Russian Olympic Committee with 71. Great Britain taking home 65 and Japan taking home 58. Gold medal counts: US 39, China 38, Japan 27, Great Britain 22, and Russia 20.
USA. I mean, that sounds about right.
World champs, and y'all still can't touch us in the fucking Olympics. No, what?
Yeah, just call us when we just call us when you need your ass put out of the fire again. We got you.
Just like we the Kim Possible of this motherfucker. Call me, beat me when you want to reach me, bitch. Like that's you need something, we got you, bruh.
Call me the
bars, baby.
Call me the 1911 because I'm coming back to save your ass.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, no, that's all I got for this one. We've had our jokes and we've had our fires, so that's all I got.
I said what I had to say, so I'll leave it at that.
Cool.
Yes, indeed. Well, as we said earlier, YouTube, what's up? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that bell icon. We do appreciate it. Drop down some comments and let us know what you think about what we talked about today. Everyone out on Twitch, thank you so much for hanging out with us on this lovely Sunday evening. And as always, we'll catch you in the next one.
Bye, you lovable idiots.
Bye.